Good morning. Well, I guess it's afternoon. Hello, hello. Come on in. I am Michelle from Monkey's Creations. And I tried to go live in the VIP group. That's why I couldn't find you. So come on in. Let's see. There we are. I gotcha. I kept trying to find you. I'm like, where am I? Not realizing I was live in my VIP group. So VIPers, I'm here. Hello, hello. Are you guys have an amazing day? Kelly and Patricia have put on an amazing marathon. I'm enjoying it. I'm able to pop in and at least tell everybody, hey. So I am up. I am Michelle from Monkey's Creations. If you have not seen me before, I do all things unique in the creek. I use raised forms, work forms. I do it all. But my passion is working with the unique in the creek forms. So we are going to do an oval frame today with this amazing sign. Look how cute that is. Hey, hey, and there's Kelly. Tell Kelly how awesome her and Patricia are doing. They're doing an amazing job. So I love to do the Unique in the Creek boards using just one roll of mesh. What? Yes, it can be done. And you can have a nice full wreath. So that is always my goal. The other thing about these that's amazing is you can write directly on the board exactly where you want things placed. First time watching, welcome. I am glad you're here. So we can write right on the board. So I did kind of this for you. So the two holes right here are considered the top of your board. So I wrote top and bottom. And then if you can see the X's, that is where we are putting our mesh. So we know exactly where we're putting everything. It makes it so easy, right? So this is our sign. We're going to mix and match some mesh. So we've got the drift and we've got the heavily fold, all red and white. I love to mix and match mesh. Number one, you can use leftovers. And number two, it adds more texture, more depth to your wreath. So I do love mixing and matching. And then we're going to bring in some of the snowflakes and some black. You're thinking, what? Black at Christmas? Yes, I love adding a little bit of black. It just makes everything pop. Okay? Good afternoon, y'all. I did wood burn this because we are just using a basic ruffle. And as we all know, some of this mesh can fray pretty badly. So I always like to ruffle or wood burn my mesh when I'm ruffling. Okay? So if y'all can float my boat, that would be great. We're giving away a kit. This is one of my, I think, almost my favorite kit. It is a poinsettia kit. So you get a large Unique in the Creek board. You get the green fabric mesh with the red. And you get this amazing multi-gold rhinestone senna with your zip ties. So that is going to be on a giveaway. So you've got to make sure that you comment, because if you don't comment, we don't know you're here. So everybody, 1, 2, 3, say hi. That's all you need. All right. Thanks. All right, let me bring you down so that we can get started. That way you can see my board. You don't need to see me. Although I did do my hair today for y'all. I did. All right, so with these boards, we use zip ties. Give me a thumbs up if you have never used a Unique in the Creek board. Thumbs up. I'm going to put our sign to the side because we need to load our board. So what we do is we use zip ties. The flat end of the zip tie goes up to the ceiling. Wow, there's quite a few of y'all. All right, I'm getting ready to convert you. Are you ready? So flat end goes to the ceiling. And we're going to go down one hole and right up the next. It's that simple. Now we are doing every other. So we're going to get all of these loaded. Just like that. Everywhere I'm putting the X. So if you're a newbie, this is a great way to mark exactly where you want everything. See, even here, I put bow because that's where my bow's going. First time watching, welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. I usually try to catch them all. If I don't catch it, ask again. These zip ties are 18-pound, 6-inch zip ties. 18-pound, 6-inch. They make them in 4-inch too, but y'all know as we get older, we start to get, you know, the old age arthritis. So the 6-inch are perfect. I know, I love that sign. I was looking for a sign specifically for this marathon, and I found that one, and I was like, oh, I love it. But if you follow me, you know all things Christmas is snowflakes and Santas this year for my Christmas theme. So it was perfect. But I will be auctioning this off. So I will take a picture when we're done, and we will put it up for auction, and all of the money will go to 4CU organization. It's an amazing organization that helps kids and parents. It's awesome. And I've met them all, and they are amazing. So that's where all the money I raise goes to. Okay. So what I did, 34-inch cut. Okay. And all we're going to do is ruffle it right up the middle. But first, I'm going to go ahead and get my tails ready. Because the great thing about this is we can put in our fold and our tails at the same time. Okay. So my tails are 16 inches. So I just put one right over the other. We had an awesome time in Chicago. It was cold, but it was awesome. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it right here in the middle, pinch it together. Lori is here. She is also donating for y'all some starter packs. So that is amazing. So we've got our tails ready to go. Now, because our bow's here, I'm not going to add tails. So I'm going to start here. So we're going to take this and we're just going to ruffle it right up the middle. Okay? It's going to be a big ruffle, y'all. But we only have to do this 10 times. Now, if your hands can't take all of this, you can zip tie your ruffle in and then go back and put in another zip tie. And I'll show you that on the next one. So you do not need to try to hold all this if your hands can't do it. Just double zip tie. Okay, so now we're going to take those, our tails, put it right in. Needle nose work great. Taking a break from doing your Christmas. I know, it looks like somebody threw up Christmas in my living room. Okay, so we have our ruffle, we have our tails. Now I generally wait and do all of my tails at the end. but just so y'all can kind of see what that's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? And that touch of black. All right, so this was our snowdrift. Now I'm going to go to the heavily fold, and I'm going to double zip tie this one for y'all so that you can see whichever way works for you, okay? So I'm going to get my tails ready. You haven't bought out, oh my gosh, you better get started. Hello, hello. Now this is directional ribbon, so I do have to be careful. If you watch me, you know I'm a little OCD about my directional ribbon. You love using the double zip ties. It is. For a lot of people, it is so much easier to double zip tie. So I'm going to double zip tie this one. This is like almost the very inside of the roll. So I'm just going to hold it down there for y'all. I'm not a lot OCD, just a little. Okay, so we're going to hold all that and put it directly in the zip tie. Now this mesh is a little thicker. So you can add the styrofoam balls to the end. You can definitely do that. That's an awesome way to make it a little more whimsical. Okay, zip tie gun. See, this is why I don't do my tails until the end, because it's just gonna get messed up, y'all. Okay, now all we have to do is grab another zip tie. Put it right over that zip tie that's already there. Just like that. And now we can add our tails. So it's really whichever way works best for you. Good morning. Okay, just like that. And now we're going to keep going. So who's got all their decorations up and who's still trying? It's almost a pancake. You can do, let me show you. If you want to do a pancake, just take your ends and kind of go crisscross them, and that will give you your traditional pancake fold. And it will lay a little bit flatter as well. See how it lays just a little bit flatter? So it's totally up to you. You're still trying to get it together? Girl, you're running out of time. And that's it. That's all right. You still have to make penguins. You put your tree up, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Oh, thanks, Denise. Get my phone out of here. Get some room. You're working on your decor now? Okay, Nancy, are you trying to be an overachiever? Completely done? Is that even possible? That cannot be possible. Where did I get this mesh? I get my mesh in different places. I get a lot of it wholesale, craft outlet. Honestly, at this point, wherever I can get it. Unique in the Creek has some amazing mesh and ribbons, so you can get your boards and all your supplies in one place. This mesh is cut at 34 inches. I try to only use one roll of mesh in all of my designs. So I've already trying to pancake these, so I'm just going to keep going and kind of overlap them so I don't have to undo what I did over there. I'm using 10 ties. But see how that full, and I mean, I just love mixing and matching mesh. One-stop shopping for sure. You love buying the kits? Yeah, they have some amazing kits. Now we probably could have gotten away with this one being a little bit shorter because it is so much thicker, but it's all right. I will double zip tie this mesh though, because that's a lot going on. You need one of those boards? Girl, go get them. I promise. I'm going to convert some of y'all today. This is a Unique in the Creek board. So they are 100% recycled plastic. And they're just amazing. I love working with them. This is the oval board. You will love them. Let me get my other zip tie going. Because I don't think even my hands could handle all that mesh and the tails. Your house is all decorated, red and white. Yeah, red and white's my color as well. With a little bit of black, of course. You've never tried? Will you now? Will you now? I'm going to mispronounce your name, so I'm just going to call you Mrs. Mullen. Anytime you can see the edges, I wood burn. So I did wood burn all of this mesh, as I do with my poinsettias and snow or sunflowers, those kinds of things. Anything I can see the cut edge, I do wood burn. You just made 10 poinsettias. Awesome. And I didn't get my tail ready. That's all right. We'll just double zip it. You have not attempted. All right, you got to try them. I promise. You'll love it. How cold is it where y'all are? We are back into the 70s and I'm excited. Okay, so we're at the top. So if you can see, I want to make sure my Merry Christmas is going down. So it is not upside down. It's raining and windy. I'm using two kinds of mesh. One is like a snowdrift, and the other is just a heavily fulled mesh. I love mixing and matching meshes. Just gives you more texture, dimension. I love doing it. And it's a good way to use the leftovers, y'all. A good way to use leftovers. I do. I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel, Monkey's Creations, on YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, all of them. And if you would like to follow, just make sure you hit those 3 dots, follow, turn on all of your notifications. That way Facebook will notify you when I go live. I do also have a text messaging app. So if you text me at 281-502-2228, you'll know when I go live. I post when new kits are available. I will be starting Valentine kits. I know y'all are thinking Valentine's. Yes, because as crafters, we're always working at least a season or 2 ahead, right? So Valentine kits are in the works. And I'm sweating. I'm having a hot flash, y'all. Happy birthday, 281-502-2228. So you'll get a text when I'm getting ready to go live. You are the second group to get notified when new kits are available. The VIP group gets notified first. The text people get notified second. And then my main page gets notified third. You're welcome. Now, if you were going to really do a true pancake, you wouldn't use 34-inch cuts, okay? Tell everybody about, what was that? Tell everybody about the name. Oh, so I was an Air Force nurse and moved back to Texas. And I finally, after 15 more years of working as a nurse, I pretty much retired from nursing. So I got bored one day and started making wreaths. And I was like, this ain't for me. But I kept going and decided to start a business. And I was like, what am I going to name my business? Well, my grandson's nickname was Monkey. So I was like, well, we're not going to do Monkey's Wreaths because then that just limits me, right? So we're going to call it Monkey's Creations. So Monkey is my grandson. So it's his nickname. So that's how Monkey's Creations came to be. And because of all of my amazing followers, we have over 30,000 followers. Almost up to 20,000 on YouTube. So we're getting there, y'all. Hello, hello. And Monkey does say that he is going to take over my business one day. I'm like, well, you better get busy. Oh, I didn't cut all of the tails because I wanted to show y'all how I cut my tails. Now, we don't need one here because that's our bow. So I need 1, 2, 3 more tails. So I use the Measure Buddy. And I'm doing 16-inch tails. So I'm going to pull out one side. That gives you 14. We're going to pull out 2 more, and that gives you 16. If you want longer, you can go up to 20. So you can cut your mesh or whatever you're going to want to cut. So I'm going to bring this down to the 16, and I need 3 more pieces. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to cut those. Is there a link? I shared, I believe, the clickable link earlier this morning. So, Dago's, hold on, I've got the schedule. Tonga's Wreath House is up next. So we'll post her link in the comments so that y'all can go see her. They've got an amazing list of designers, y'all. So make sure you show up, check them out. Or did Lori bring... Lori brought me a couple to Chicago because I had to and I couldn't find them. So, yeah, she saved me. And then I'm going to dovetail them. So I'm just bringing both of my edges, bringing them together. And I'm going to cut from the folded edge to the outside at an angle. And there's our dovetail. Yes, Crafty Creative Circle. Go join that group, and that's where you can watch all of the lives. They are sharing them all in there. Amazon just came. Yeah, y'all know I'm waiting for Amazon too. I love my Measure Buddy. Look, I've got 1,001 uses for a Measure Buddy. It's even perfect to get it all the way out, and you can't see it, but my 50 yards are at the top of my ribbon rack, and so I use it to knock them out. Why not? Hello from California. Welcome. Everybody's waiting on their Amazon. My Amazon and Kohl's. They both know my address by heart. Use it, yep. Lori used it to make pom-poms. So there's so many ways you can use it. And when you have two and can't find one, you know there's a problem. Y'all, I have an 8-foot table and I keep blocking myself in. Time to clean off my table again. No DoorDash today. We are going to the Christmas parade in town, so we'll probably stop and eat somewhere. Your poor husband had to go. Oh no. I know, and it'll look really pretty, I promise, once we get it all situated, our tails go in the right direction. It's like, you know, you, like I run around in sweatpants and t-shirts, and then when you go out, it's like, oh, you dressed up pretty nice, right? Well, that's the way my wreaths are. So right now they're in the sweatshirt stage, sweatpants stage, but we're going to clean her up. Chocolate lasagna. Do you need my address? I can give it to you. Well, you can use zip tie or pipe cleaners as well. It really just depends on the design I'm trying to do. If I want to make it more whimsical, and I think Dana mentioned it earlier, I'll use pipe cleaners. That way I can add the styrofoam filler bottle, filler balls, glitter balls, to the ends. And it just makes it a little more whimsical. Thanks. We're getting there. Y'all, if you normally watch me, you know I work really fast. So making sure to try to fill up at least an hour and 15 minutes is hard for me. So I really have to slow my roll because I do everything quickly. But I love the fact that we get an hour and a half. That's awesome. We have more time to talk with y'all, get to know y'all. If you're one of those that just sit in the back and doesn't say anything, you're missing out, I promise you. Because I have made some of the most amazing friendships just by talking to people online. Like, we'll be friends the rest of our lives. So if you haven't said hi, come say hi. Let me know if this is your first time watching. I have another 50 minutes. What y'all want to talk about? No, I'm kidding. We'll keep going. Oh, they'll play bingo. Y'all want to play some bingo? Or you want to talk to me? What you want to do? All right, this is our last tail going in. You can't win at bingo. Well, welcome Lynn and Cheryl and Michelle and Susie. See, we just made some new friends. All right, we've got one more, and it's just going to be a ruffle because that's where our bow is going. You only need 10 pieces. 10 pieces of mesh. Cut it 34 inches. So one roll, and we're still going to have a full wreath. Yeah, we are fun in person too. Real old timer, yes. And knitting, awesome. I never got into knitting. I don't have the patience for it, I don't think. You're making a centerpiece. How do you say, oh, Lynn. I almost said it too. Look, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So I tried to say, look, I'm going to do it again. I tried to say shelf sitter, and you can imagine what it came out one day on my live. Yeah. All right, so let's make a bow. We're still in the sweatpants stage. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to laugh or cry when it came out, but you know, it happens. It happens. So we are going to make a bow. And my usual bow recipe is, and it's so easy to remember, so it's 654 321. So what does that mean? That means we're doing 6-inch loops, 5-inch loops, 4-inch loops, 3 loops, 2 loops, and 1 loop. You want me to say that again? So 654 321. 6-inch loops, 5-inch loops, 4-inch loops, 3 loops, 2 loops, and 1 loop. And I generally start with the 1.5. Now this sign is pretty big. Oh, we can still get a big bow in there. Never mind. Y'all know I love big bows. If you've watched me, and I love some tails. I like my wreath tails as big as my own tail. So we do some long ones. So we're going to go out to the 6-inch. You made your first one? And it was the ladybug kit? Ooh, that one was a hard one to start with, girlfriend. Now we all make our bows a little bit different. I stack my loops just because it's easier for me. Oh, that's too hard to remember, Dana. Hey, hey. Well, I'm glad I make it look easy. It really is easy once you get the hang of it. Trust me, when I first saw the boards, I was like, man, there's no way I am going to mess with those boards. But I ended up ordering them because it was the rose. So the roses were everywhere when the boards first came out, right? And I was like, they're so pretty, but nah. I'm not making no dang rose. But then I was like, okay, I'll order a couple. And then I got them in. And I was like, that thing's intimidating. So they sat here probably a good month. So we've got our 3 on each side. So I'm going to bring my tail down. We're going to cut our tail. So then I finally picked up the board and I started playing. And I started playing. And I started playing. And I was like, oh my gosh. Amazing. So that's how I got started. And then me and Lori messaged one day, or I messaged her. Now look, Merry Christmas is directional ribbon. So we're going to fix that. I can't have upside down ribbon. So we're going to cut our tail first. Yes, I am that OCD, y'all. So I messaged her and we just started chatting, and then we started going to conventions together, and that was it. It was awesome. But we met online. So, all right, now I need 5-inch tails, and I need 2 on each side, right? So let me play. I'm going to cut it a little bit long. Now I'm going to need 2 of these, right? Because I need 2 tails. Because I can't have my Merry Christmas upside down. Okay, we're going to bring them together. I'm going to put it in there. Now, if you want to play with it a little bit more, let's see if we can do that. So that you have the Merry Christmas on each side. Oh, and it worked. First time. Look at there. Okay, but our Merry Christmas is not upside down. So let's see if we can do it again. I did it once, so y'all know it's not going to happen again, right? Just a little bit longer. And I'm pulling from underneath because you don't want to pull here, because that's going to be your loop. And there we go. So now when we make it, our Merry Christmas on either loop is not upside down. So there's your trick for the day. Okay? And I love making the rose, girls. Stop it. I still don't enjoy making the rose. I can make an awesome rose, but I don't enjoy it. And then we're going to come back with our 1.5. So we've got our 3, 2. Now I'm doing 1 loop. Oh, there's my son. I love you, honey. You've never seen anyone do it this way? I love doing it this way. I love the recipe. And I love my words not upside down. Uh-oh, what are we congratulating? What did I miss? Okay, gonna bring my tails down again. All right, so I'm gonna say it one more time. 6 inch, 5 inch, 4 inch, 3 loops, 2 loops, 1 loop. Okay, we're gonna grab our pipe cleaner. You're gonna save this video. Awesome. Oh, Marty Iser won the kit. Yay! So I will show that kit again, and I actually think I still have some of those kits in stock. Y'all, I've been to Chicago, and I've been in all decorating mode, so I have no idea what I have. But I'm pretty sure I have some. All right. So let's fluff our bow. Okay, so I start at the back. Let me bring y'all up just a little bit. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to start with the back loop. I'm going to bring it up. Hand in the next one. Bring it down and back to the middle. Third one, down, diagonal. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. And then your second set of loops is going to sit directly in the middle. Just like that. And then your middle loop sits right in the middle of your 2.5. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Have you ever used, I do have a fluff box, but I just prefer to use my hands. I can do it quicker with my hands. Normally I'm already done fluffing it and put it in on my wreath. So I just prefer to do it by hand. And that one just came out, but that happens, y'all. Don't fret. Just undo. I wasn't paying attention to the, when I was pulling those out to make sure that I still had enough in there. But look, it happens. It's a good teaching moment. Just undo and put it right back in. Just like that. See? It's a good teaching moment. A fluff box is, it's a box, and it has, you want me to grab it? I've got one here. So the fluff box is a Regina Sellers fluff box. Now I painted mine because y'all know I'm a little extra. But it comes with the little hook right here and a nail. So the idea is you take, now most people use, I think, wire, but I don't use wire. I use pipe cleaners. So you would take it and you would hook your wire or whatever you're doing to the middle. Now it's not going to work for me because my pipe cleaner isn't quite long enough. You would wrap it around the nail and then fluff it right here on the board. But we just did it by hand. Does that make sense? So yes, this is a Probo fluff box, but I don't use it. It's just easier for me to use my hands. But you can make your own because these fluff boxes are not patented. So if you have a crafty person, you can make your own. Okay. I smashed it when we had to put that one in. So let's flop it back up. Okay, and there's our bow. All right, so let's turn our sweatpants into a dress. So the sign is going to go right here in the middle. Okay, so these boards makes it easy to figure out where your middle is as well. So we're going to put a pipe cleaner right here and take it to the outside. Okay, so we're going to turn our sign over, grab 2 pipe cleaners. I know, Carol, I'm trying to slow down. Chicken pot pie. Tracy, you have my address, right? Okay, so I use E6000 and hot glue for my cable mounts. So we're going to take our pipe cleaners, run right through them. Give it a good twist. Turn it back over. See how that black just makes that red pop? And then, see, it's going to be a mess because I'm going to show you. So we're going to take the pipe cleaner and put it right through there. Just like that. Now I'm not going to pull or wrap too hard until I get the other side on. If I can find it in all this mesh. Got to take my glasses off. Okay, so you want some mesh sitting behind it because it's going to help hold your sign, right? So I'm just going to hold this down just a little. I don't want it to squish my mesh, but I want it tight enough that it's going to stay in place, right? Can't have a droopy sign. Okay, so just tighten up. It's not going to go anywhere. And then all you have to do is give that a twist and put it right back in to the hole beside it. That way, nothing on the back of this wreath is going to scratch your customer's door. Just like that. Okay, so it's still a nice clean back. All right, now let's get our tails going. We're going to get out of that sweatpant. The sign came from Etsy, and it was called M-A-M-A, Mama. But that's all I remember. Sorry. But she also sublimates ribbon and all kinds of stuff. Can you recap the length of the ribbons? Absolutely. So my mesh is cut at 34 inches, and you need 10 pieces. My tails are cut at 16 inches. Yeah, and that's, y'all, that's just because I like ribbon, right? So you can definitely cut those down if you want and do a regular 14-inch tail. Totally up to you. But I like using the 16-inch tails on mine. But that's not everybody's cup of tea, right? So make them whatever length you want. Sweatpants are going away. Whew, we did an hour, y'all. Woohoo! Normally I'd already been done. But I'm enjoying like slowing down and chatting with everybody. I can't really tell by your background that you... I do like me some ribbon. As you can, well, you probably, yeah, you can see a lot of it. And those are just shoe racks, y'all. Just shoe racks, simple shoe racks. But I do mount them to the wall, because the day that comes down on my head, I'm going to be cussing. That's just, you know. That's just how it's going to be. I know, right? You know, every time I say I'm going to add a touch of black, people are like, what? Black with... Yes. Throw you some black in there. It just makes everything pop. All right. Our sweatpants are gone, y'all. So we're going to add our bow. So our bow is going to go right here. So I'm just going to take the pipe cleaners and run them right there. I'm not sure if I'll do it here or if I'll do it here. I'll know once I get the bow on there where it needs to go, because I don't want to cover up this too much of the sign. You want to still be able to read the words. So I am going to use the bottom two. Thank you for the stars. I appreciate it. If you have not watched me before, all of my star money does get donated to our local animal shelter. I do not keep it. Trying to get through all that mesh, y'all. Give me a second. It's hard when you can't see. I had it in and then it slipped out. There we go. I got them both. Whew. Okay, now I don't want, this is another pet peeve of mine I'm just going to share with y'all. Don't want your bow sucked down into it. So if I suck it down, look what it does to those loops. We don't want that. We want it to sit pretty. So don't get it tight enough where it doesn't flop, but not so tight that you lose your loops, right? Well, thanks, Denise. All right. So let's get everything in place. See why we didn't need those set of tails? We'd have just covered it up right here. See, I bet some of y'all were looking at it like, Lord, this is going to be a hot mess for sure. I promise you. Just follow the process. And sometimes I'm a little hard to follow. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so we've got our bow on there. And now we're going to dovetail our ends. Just like that. And I'm going to start and work from underneath. Get all of our beautiful tails down here. And I love a good curled tail. So we're going to work that ribbon from the base of our bow, y'all. And if it's on this side, I work my bow, my tail this way. This side, I work it this way. See how it's gradually curling in? And then just pull it gently. And you've got that nice curl on the end. Oh, that's why it wasn't laying. I had them crisscrossed. It's all right. About that long is about what she tells you. Yeah, I don't measure my tails, y'all. I just make them big like my butt. That's all I do. I'm just like, oh, that looks good. And then if I need to make them shorter, I can make them shorter. You're inspired, yay. I'd love to inspire people. You know, for me, it's not always about selling. Yes, I love to sell my wreaths, right? But it's about, you know, inspiring somebody else to do something they don't normally do. Get out of your comfort zone. And if you follow me long enough, you will get out of your comfort zone. Because I love to wing it. Like, I'll come up with a design and I'll do it live. And I'm just winging it. And if it doesn't work, I try something else and make it work. That's what creativity is all about, right? So don't get out of your head. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Be inspired. And I'm not one of those that get upset when somebody copies me. I love it. I wouldn't be live if I didn't want to inspire you to create it either exactly like me or to make it your own, right? Just do it and have fun. As long as you're having fun with it, nothing else matters. There you go. And you can always bring, if you don't like as much of the mesh, bring your tails more in. Totally up to you. You know, we have Lori and I and Dre have a VIP group, and we always, you know, try to inspire, do something different. You know, you don't have to be like everybody else. Be yourself, and it's enough. It's always enough. That's generally where I place my bows, Tamara, is generally at the bottom and usually on the left-hand side of my design. So there you go. There's your bow with all those amazing tails. And it's all using one roll of mesh, and probably all together maybe a roll and a half of ribbon, and you have a nice full wreath. You can't see the board, and that's always the goal, is you don't want to be able to see the board through your mesh or your design. So that's it. So I will get pictures. We will get this posted on my page. This one will be for auction. So whatever money we raise from this design, I will send to the RUC4 or R4UC. Y'all, I always get mixed up on that. What is it? And I will cover the shipping. So you don't have to worry about paying an additional shipping fee. I will cover that. All right. So y'all have time. I can't believe I took an hour and 10 minutes to make this wreath, but it was awesome hanging out with y'all. Thank you, Kelly and Patricia, for inviting me to your marathon. I had a blast. I hope you guys had a blast. Make sure you go to Tonga's Wreath House. She is up next, but y'all have about 15 minutes to go fill your drinks, get you something to eat, make you some popcorn so you can sit back the rest of the day and watch all of these amazing designers. So it comes out to about 28 inches long. Somebody just asked that. And it is about 24 inches wide. So it's definitely going to fill your door. My text number is 281-502-2228. So I always send out a text notification, usually about 10 to 15 minutes before I go live. That way you can stop what you're doing and come watch me. Relax, have some laughs. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. You just don't. So I hope y'all had an awesome time. Thank you again for coming. And let's go watch the next designer. But you have about 15 minutes. So go do some things and then get back on Facebook. Bye, y'all.